Good morning, everyone. I want to go for a drive in the Mini. I want to check GPS speed to displayed speedometer speed. Just want to see how accurate it is. So I've got my increments written down, which means we'll be on a variety of roads. I'm going to go ahead and head on up to Ray County to check the disposition of a bridge. The new one that's being built over the Crooked River, and we'll hit the roadways, and we'll talk about the trials and tribulations of buying a used car. So join me. Okay, I have made it to my destination, at least for the new bridge. And I want to talk more about the car and the data I have collected so far. So far I'm very pleased with what I've recorded. Had to make a correction here. I recorded this number going uphill. When I got onto level ground, it ended up being 52.2 at 55. So far, it seems to be about 3 miles an hour difference, which is fine. So that means when I'm doing 7 or 8 over, I'm actually doing about 5 over the speed limit. And that when people go around me, when I'm doing that, they're exceeding the speed limit by way more. But we'll get out and check out the progress on the bridge, and talk more about the car. They are progressing with the bridge. I didn't want to pull up here too far. I figured I'd pick up a nail in one of those brand new tires. So anyway, more on the Mini. Like I said, I had to replace the focus. It was making noises in the bottom end of the engine. I've still got it at the house, but I am going to call somebody to have them come pick it up. Even though I just did coil packs, spark plugs, alternator and battery in it, plus a new set of tires. Now, that was all within the last year or so. So I started looking for a car because I wanted to upgrade to a newer car, but I like manual transmissions, and finding a United States built or an American built car, because, well, we won't get into that, with a manual transmission is very, very difficult to find. So I found this Mini. The guy had it listed for $6,800, and from the pictures I saw that he had taken, I knew that it had a scratch down here. So, and that is actually a dent, but hey, that's all right. He lowered the price to a better price. I went and looked at the car and bought the car. I knew it had issues when I bought it. One of the toughest things about buying a used car is you're buying somebody else's problems that they don't want to fix. It had a brake light illuminated on the tachometer. He had mentioned that people were driving it like Jason Bourne. That didn't quite sink in. I mean, you know, I kind of understood what he was saying. But I really understood it when I took the brakes apart and replaced them. Anyway, the brake light was because of the master cylinder reservoir level indicator. It had a defect, or they drove it low on brake fluid, or seemingly low on brake fluid, because the brake pads were worn down to just a few millimeters and the brake fluid level was below the level indicator, and it burned it out. So anyway, one of the things that happened while I was working on the brakes was the kick panel module went out. It just quit working. And that's pretty common on these cars, I found out. In fact, our local BMW dealership keeps that part in stock. Anyway, that was $800 I wasn't planning on spending. Actually, $813.46. In doing the brakes myself, that was about $125. So I saved a good bit of labor doing that. The brake master cylinder reservoir level indicator, that's an assembly in the brake master cylinder reservoir, and getting that replaced was $400 and some change. So I've got a bit more wrapped up in this car than I really want, but I'm going to keep driving it. I like driving this car. It drives good. It's quiet. It handles great. So I think I did good on my choice. And it's a manual. I like driving manuals. You know, I mean, one of the other cars I test drove before buying this was a Volkswagen Tiguan, and the car drove fine, but it was an automatic. I just didn't want an automatic. But anyway, this has 161,000 miles on it. Well, a little more. I've been driving it back and forth to work. It will need, probably eventually, a new timing belt. They recommend replacing the timing belt at about 100,000 miles. So it's 61,000 over. But the cool thing is, it hauls my tools real well. And it gets 36 miles to the gallon commuting. One of the things I might try to make this speedometer a little more accurate is I might try stepping the tire size up to a 70 series. So right now this has a 175/65/15. I might try a 175/70/15, a little bit bigger diameter. See if that brings the speedometer closer to being actual as compared to GPS. But anyway, I'm gonna wrap things up here and head on back home. But thanks for joining me. I will see you later.